Hey, goedemorgen, cats and kittens. How's everybody feeling this fine day? This is one of those quick run down to the studios and create because something kind of is tapping in, and you got to grab it while it's the universe is giving you that gift. You know, some people say strike while the iron's hot. Well, I'll tell you what, I felt that heat. It was a series of events. I was working on the house, and I was listening to an interview with an artist by the name of Michael Artemage. He's a London-based artist. These are interviews. If you go to, I think it's the Turner Contemporary through YouTube. They have a channel called Turner Contemporary, and they have great artist interviews. Anyway, his process that he was speaking of, that he goes through, resonated with me. And it wasn't technique, as far as physical technique. It seemed to be a mental technique, in a way. I don't know how other way to say it. And I don't want to be too direct with what he said. But I started thinking of what the job of the artist is. And I don't mean an occupation. I don't mean money. I don't mean... It's not what I mean. The role of the artist in society is to show what is beneath the surface, the BS veneer, into the esoteric, or into the social dichotomy of the individual and society and the just social structure. But it brings the within, okay, without within, what's inside out into the light, okay, coming information of the personal response of the individual into society, which is built of many individuals that are cohabitating in some type of manner. And often, especially what we're seeing now on the planet that we're on, how these social dichotomies need to speak their feelings, because this is starting to happen. And sometimes that's how people learn to speak, is by doing this. But the job of the artist is to plant the seed, to show an image that a picture tells 1,000 words, these words that people can't speak for themselves. I'm speaking really fast because I want to get to what I need to do. And I'm opening up my studio to you because of these moments that artists have behind closed doors, where that iron is hot and something is tapping into you and you have to get it out. This is one of these moments, and I appreciate you so much, but I need to get into my meditative zone before it's lost. You understand? By the way, I'm TK Mundok. I'm a visual artist, a musician, a scenic artist for film and television. I'm now opening up my studio to these private moments to the world, and I'm honored that this platform exists. Visit me on Instagram at tkmundok, TKMUNDOK. Listen to my band's music, the band that I play and sing with, Black Cat Moan, at blackcatmoan.com. And you can download and listen to our music on Spotify and Apple and all your favorite streaming platforms on the globe. But right now, I have to do something, and you're invited. But there's an image that came to my mind on that I need to put together, and it's going to come out in some form, either in a painting at some point or something. I'm not sure, but I need to kind of grab it now. This is a sketch for a big idea or a body of work. What Michael Artemich was saying is he goes out into nature and he does his sketches and he does his work for ideas. And then when he comes back, in East Africa, and then when he comes back to London, he has all these sketches and ideas and whatnot. But then he starts to go into social media and look at popular images and what's hitting in today's society. And then I've often closed myself off to that to an extent because it's such a flash in the pan. Often BS, but right now is not a time of BS. Right now is a time of the Great Awakening, this 2020 vision, and people are speaking up. And I've for the past year, it seems like I've been channeling through my paintings, these entities, this emotional higher self that comes into play with the human existence. These souls having a temporary human existence, and trying to tap into gods and goddesses, and not just through mythology, but our own hierarchy. Okay, so right now I'm feeling that all those the collective I, the collective oneness, all the gods and goddesses of are coming together and really being a force to be reckoned with the angry overlords of society that really want to squash that higher self, because it just doesn't fit into the plan of the worker bee. And I felt like maybe it's that time that they stand up and start interacting with the lower vibration self. And I want to do something right now. I have to do something right now. And I thought about inviting you. I thought I should. Normally I wouldn't. These are different times. These are different times. I need to acquire some water. I'm going to use some black Jethro. It's so funny, I have a really nice sized studio right now. And I've always felt, it's funny, my wife always says, no matter what size my studio is, I always get my tools and toys and encroach in that space. I could be in a warehouse and I'll still end up working in a 5x5 box. And here I am again. Maybe there's comfort in that. I don't know. Maybe it's just my cockpit. You know what I mean? Building like a cockpit. Everything is right at your fingertips. Give a shout out, baby. This was given to me from a great co-conspirator, as he would call himself. A great collaborator artist in my life, Scotty Bellinger, who's no longer in his human form that I met him in. He's passed over some years now. But I always paint with him. You know what I mean? The Dark Guard. Force drying. What? What? I can't hear you. Force drying, a little tip I picked up working in film, you know. When time is of the essence. Okay. I'm going to be coming in and out a bit to line myself up where I can get the big view of this balancing act. Let your hand flow. Allow. One moment. Woo woo! My family's back. I'm streaming in the art studio. Got it. Just for a couple minutes, I need to grab this idea that came into my mind. Remember studio assistant B? Mm-hmm. Okay. Right on. Hey, TT Randall. Pleasure. Thank you for being here at the moment. You caught me in a really interesting moment. I just ran down to the studio because I had that conduit lightning snap that I need to just capture something. It's going to be a real quick sketch, fast dream that I need to grab so that I could do it in large proportions later. You know how it is. You know how it is when something is coming into your psyche. You can't just ignore it. You have to kind of honor it and make it a moment so that it can live. Does that make sense? If so, give me a shout, because that makes real sense to me right now. And I just got to grab this so that it can become something. And what that is I was listening to this artist interview, and the thought process that connected with me was that what I've been creating was images for people to battle themselves, their internal mind. Thank you. Cool. With you. The internal battle. And right now, with what's happening in the world, I think the internal battle has really finally starting to come out. And what I'm trying to say is I think that many of the people that have felt that they didn't have a voice realize that the individual always echoes whatever vibrational thought process they are on. You're never alone in your thought processes. And what's happening in society right now, I think there's voices that felt like they couldn't speak out with how they're mentally being oppressed. Right now, they're realizing that they're not alone. There's strength in numbers. It's what the internet has brought us. It's the new Renaissance. Everybody realizes you could be in a field someplace in the middle of Nairobi, and if you have this internet access, you realize that you're not alone in your thought process of the world. So I've been the last show that I just did, last gallery show, had a lot to do with the higher self, all these gods and goddesses of the great, the I ams of who you believe you are, and right now I think that everybody is feeling strong enough to stand up to I can choose my words well here, to stand up for who they are. Let's put it that way. Who they really are. And what came into my mind is the realization of all these entities that I've been drawing, these gods and goddesses. You can see them if you go to TK Mundok on Instagram. There's a passivity in taking care of the self. It could, from the outside world perspective, from society's perspective, it could look passive when there's such an internal structure of growth going on. When you become the hermit, so that you can align yourself with something stronger, so that you can stand up and change your reality. Yes, yes. And I think that's what's happening right now. I mean, I just became aware the other day of what's happening in Seattle and how brilliant of a gesture that is. Right now, my wife is at a Black Lives Matter gathering here. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the moment. Now's the time people are really standing up for who they are as a collective oneness. So there you go. You see what's happening? Right now I'm really just allowing the shapes to come. Get it? You feel me, babies? Please tap in to my other videos where I really talk about my process. My streams from earlier this week. Where I talk about the creation process and what it really means. Right now, like I said, this is a quick grab. I need to run down, that I just needed to run down to the studio and experience this. Can you see what I'm streaming? I'm not sure if anybody's still there at the moment. But can you see this image? Should I pull in just a little bit? Let me know. Because this is just a quick contour. Okay. Perfect. So it's a, wow, I'm looking at it now almost for the first time. But it's kind of this trinity, this triumvirate, standing tall and rising above almost an oppression line. I'm not sure if they're soldiers but stopping it, or just the shadow self. I guess they're one and the same, depending on intent. Again, this is we're working for a quick sketch for a larger piece. Often my work is that of a solid, a solo figure, and only every once in a while do I do a multi-figure painting. And I'm jonesing for that, baby. So yeah, I think this is what's coming. Something to this degree. I like that idea. This becomes a row of base chakra entities. It's red. Becomes a fence, an offensive fence. some repetition. Again, we'll do 3 rows of this within that cloudy black matter, dark matter, I should say. Oh, Libby. So I'm just going to do this for now, and then I believe I'm going to move on because I have other obligations. But I needed for this to happen. There was something that connected with me, and I needed to express it on the quick. I'm going to do this in purple. Where's a good purple? Or do I? No, this becomes this. All right, cool. I'm going to leave you with this for now. I need to leave this for now. I need to get back to what I was working on. Pay attention to the things that are paying attention to you. And what I mean by that, there is so much going on out there in the ether, and there's so much information that kind of sifts through into us, and you have to allow it. Can't block everything out. You have to welcome it in, see how it shapes you, see what your shape is inside of all of this spectrum of lights that's coming in. You have to use your voice. And sometimes this is the voice that connects. Okay. Don't ignore it until the voice fades, till the image fades. Don't wait. Sometimes you bring a sketchbook with you. Make notes so that you can come back to that emotional interest, that information. So that's what this is. So anyway, I ran down to the studio. I went live because I made that promise to you that when I'm in here, I open my studio to you. Okay? Behind closed doors. Because art just doesn't appear from nowhere. Okay? People are the conduit to that. Music just doesn't appear out of nowhere. It needs a conduit. It needs people to create it. It comes from out there, and then it's our duty to make sure that it's heard or seen. Most importantly, felt, because true art evokes emotion. And when that emotional content comes to you, you have to act on it, or it's lost. And hopefully there'll be another radio down the line that picks up that transmission. Can you dig it? Sometimes you're that only radio source for that transmission. So you got to get it so you can share it. And this is one of those. Again, line of confrontation, a fence, a barrier to rise above. This shape is very important. This harkens back. You see this to a lot of, again, I'm kind of looking at this now, all these shapes that came together that were given in a way. It has that chalice. If you look at Unitarian Universalism, they have that ish. There's a flame in the middle of it. Okay. And here we are again. I'm working in threes. It's a magic number. Ask Nikola Tesla if you want to understand the universe, if you will, start thinking in terms of vibration, resonance, and energy. And also the numbers 3, 6, and 9. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that's interesting. So you have 3 rows of 7, 7, 7. Very interesting. But there's all this low vibrational, this wave, this thought process. To me, this was a military standoff, is how I started. That's what came to me in the idea, is that all these inner selves, these higher selves, were now having this standoff with low vibration thought police. Let's put it that way. And that's what I was seeing, where they're confronting and rising above. Okay, I'll leave you with this for a moment. Within the week, I'll be posting on Instagram all the new images that have been coming since I've opened my studio up this week. I appreciate you. Thankful for you. We're all in this together. You understand how that works, right? But you have to take care of yourself first. So you have to be strong enough here. You have to raise your vibrational courage so that you can stand up strong. And when you stand up strong, you realize that the next person just needed somebody else to stand up next to them. And that person needed somebody, and that person, and that person. You know, you ever go see a wonderful dance performance or theater performance or a concert, and you know in your heart as you sit there and everybody's clapping that a standing ovation, like you just want to stand up and tell them, thank you for giving that story, that emotional content. And you don't, and then one person stands up, and then you see how that one candle kind of ignites all these other candles. And that's what's happening right now. And so don't be quiet, man. Speak your story, share it. You'll find that you're not alone. That's what's happening right now in the world. People are waking up. Again, their 2020 vision. They're seeing through the veil. Okay, before it was pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Well, I think everybody's learning their lesson. I'm TK Mundok. I am. TK Mundok. Visit me on Instagram. Okay? You listen to the music that I make with amazing artists in the band Black Cat Moan. You can download it on all your favorite streaming platforms. Yeah. Go to blackcatmoan.com. You can watch our music videos. You can listen to the lyrics. There's a song in particular called The Veil. What lies, what disinformation, what lies behind the veil? And I think that's what's happening right now in the world. People are asking that question. So I'm going to leave this with you for a moment. And then I got to bust out. And I'll come back in and do this again. Okay? And you do it for yourself also. Strike while the iron's hot. Strike while the information is being given to you. Don't ignore it. All right? Much love. Great dreams. Peace out. Give me a hug.
I'm having a lot of trouble with the Wi-Fi.
That is something I think Mom wants to take care of.
Yeah, I don't
And then you're giving me this Chromebook. I just really connected it.
Yeah, and I have a question. Was it the password that you changed, or is it still Netgear 21 5G?
Thank you. Much love. Be the change you want to see in the world. Till we meet again. Create great dreams.